Good morning, everyone. It's good old Friday morning. Got a bit of a story for you guys, talking about bills or bill ladings, and kind of how to prevent some headaches and stuff. This happened not to me. Well, part of it happened to me, but the back end of the story will make sense here in a minute. How to avoid this from happening to you. So, pretty much what happened was showed up at a shipper. Was supposed to be a drop and hook, but wasn't ready. They were just about to start loading it. So I had to go drop my empty, go hook up to the other empty that was already in the dock door, get loaded, and then head off to my receiver. So I'll find Danny, get all loaded, see the light switch over to green. Truckers' favorite things when that light switches from red to green. And the guy comes out, knocks on my door, and goes, "Do you already got your paperwork?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "That's odd. Somebody already signed it and your seal's missing." I'm like, "Well, it's just me unless you count my 50 imaginary friends that I talk to all the time in here, but nope, I haven't signed anything." So, make my way into the office, find out what's going on. Well, actually, can't go in the office. I just go in the door because they still got stupid COVID restrictions. So, standing there, we're trying to figure out. He shows me the paperwork. Yeah, it was definitely signed. Definitely not my signature. Can't read it. We triple checked the trailer number that I'm hooked up to. Trailer number is correct. They loaded the right product in there for what the bills are, but someone already signed it and sealed up with that seal number and gone. Looking at the time frame for a minute, I put together that it had to have been that other truck. So when I hooked up to my empty, there was one guy that was pulling out of there, and there was another prime in the prime empty in the door. I'm like, well, that one hasn't moved. The only other one that's moved since I've been here is that guy. He goes, "Well, he shouldn't have signed that paperwork. He's supposed to be going to Tallahassee." My load was going to Houston, Texas with that load. So we go dig into it. They scratch out the seal numbers, the initial off on it, put a new seal number on it. We scratch out the guy's signature. I re-sign the paperwork. They make their copy and they hand me the paperwork. We're good to go. Get up to the guard shack, where they are supposed to be like these on-site's last line of defense to make sure people don't leave with the wrong paperwork, wrong trailer. There's a lot of dropping hooks in there. Make sure the seal matches up, all that stuff. They're supposed to be the company's last line of defense. Talking with the security guard, and we pretty much confirmed that the guy that was supposed to be going, or his load's going to Tallahassee, has my paperwork and my seal on it for Houston. It can be a huge issue because this is a previous bill of lading I have. Bill of ladings are our legal documents to say what the hell's in that trailer, especially if something happens. DOT, they're going to look at your bills to see what you're hauling. All of a sudden, they look at your bills and you're he's supposed to be going to Tallahassee, so he's Florida, but his bills say he's going to Houston. They're going to start questioning what the heck's going on. But all of that is if you're involved in an accident and all that, they need to know what the hell's in that trailer. And all of a sudden, the product is not matching up. The worst side on the driver's side was two parts that you can really screw yourself on this. His seal's not going to match. It's going to match the paperwork, but it's not going to match the product. So if they get into some places, when they look at it, they'll just look at the bills, and if it's not matching up, they'll reject the whole load. Or if it happens to be, that's why you got to check your seals and your temps and everything that's on your bill of lading and make sure it is correct. Just don't grab your paperwork and roll. If, say, he had just the wrong seal number on there, I've seen it where they will reject the whole load because it's the wrong seal, because you can't guarantee that load was not tampered with then. So I'm like, all right, I got my paperwork. I'm good to go. They're gonna figure it out on their end, but I'm golden. Houston, here I come. So I get to Houston. I park at the place where I'm delivering. They got overnight parking. Deliver in the morning. Talking with the guy about it all. I'm like, hey, you might have a guy that shows up if he goes by his bill of lading paperwork. He goes, oh yeah, we had a guy that just did that like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, huh? He goes, yeah. His load was supposed to be in Syracuse, New York, and he showed up in Houston, Texas. I'm like, well, that's a bit out of the way. So, and it seems to be a common problem with this shipper that they're just grabbing paperwork, have a driver sign it, and here you go. So, make sure your trailer number matches up on it, and literally triple check your address matches up. Pretty much that boils down to why Prime does the dumb, stupid live loaded call. It's a triple check to make sure all your information's correct. I don't know the reasoning, what ended up all happening, reason why they put that in place, but for how annoying it is a safety check to help prevent people from going to the wrong places. The guy that was going to Tallahassee was an owner out. So it kind of gets into the whole compliance of he's just used to hooking up, booking, put the product in, grab my paperwork, here I go. He's already got his destination, never looked at his bills. Issue can come in with that is as if it's temp requirements, and you open up a whole ball of wax and freaking headaches that you don't need to have out here. And when literally 2 minutes of your time can help prevent this from happening. He goes, oh yeah, so what happened in Houston, they started unloading the product and they realized this is not matching up at all. So it took them a little bit to figure out what's going on. And the driver's like, I think he told him like, yeah, I was originally supposed to like dispatch to go to Syracuse, but the paperwork says go to Houston, so here I am. If you have problems or questions with your load, call your dispatcher. If you're owner op, call your broker and be like, hey, paperwork is showing this. I've had it where they've added stops or taken stops off. It's always better to take that 5 minutes, get everything triple checked, get confirmed, to avoid you a huge problem later on down the road. So I don't know what ended up happening to the other driver. Hopefully he made it to Tallahassee and they just faxed the paperwork down to him somewhere. Don't know, but all I know is I had my correct stuff, no issues with my delivery. So it's a kind of a tip for you guys to make sure you keep an eye on your bill of ladings. Don't just trust whatever somebody at a shipper freaking hands you, or even at a receiver. You don't want to go deliver your product and all of a sudden they handed you you drive for Prime and they handed you CR England's paperwork and you just grab it and go, and then you get down the road and like, oh shit, where's my paperwork? This isn't correct. So not only are you screwing over yourself, you're screwing over another driver. So always triple check your paperwork. So I guess that's it for this story. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys subscribe, give me the good old thumbs up, comment below. I will be recording my first part of Respect My Grind series here either today or tomorrow, and getting that up. I think I'm going to aim to do that, get an episode of that up every Sunday. I think I'm just going to put on myself for that one. So again, if you guys have anyone that you know that has a story from, or that wants to tell their story and where they came from, in trucking or trucking related or anything, that came from a weird upbringing and all that, and they freaking stuck their nose to the ground and fucking grinded it out, and now they're successful, I want to hear your story. I've got some other interviews and stuff I want to work on to help out for the, like, buying a house on a 1099, and other stuff to help out truck drivers. So there's a lot of information coming up for you guys. So make sure you are subscribed, turn on notifications, comment below if there's anything you want me to cover. Other than that, we'll talk to you guys soon. Everyone stay safe.